The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Health through food on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to a special edition of Triad Today, where over the next half hour we'll look back at some of the topics we've covered with our good friends at Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. Back now on Triad Today, I'm excited about meeting this first guest. She is from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. Cheryl Parquet is Associate Vice President of Community Engagement. She's also named one of the top 50 women leaders in the state. See, I checked up on you.
Oh, all right.
So I am honored to have you here.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina is the only not-for-profit insurer that covers members from across all 100 counties of the state. Now, that's a vast area. So my question is, what's your approach to addressing local health challenges?
Yeah, Jim, that's a great question. And so about 2 years ago, we took our executives out and we went to go visit all 100 counties. We met with community partners, leaders, legislators, our members, and just really had conversations about what are the challenges that are happening in North Carolina. And so through those conversations, we've really been taking an intentional approach on how we're changing our products and our services, and then really just how are we meeting the most challenging needs right now that we see in our community. And so we're focusing on youth mental health,
right.
Improving access through food, and expanding health through food as well.
Well, what kind of partnerships and coalitions and things agencies and folks do you coordinate with? How do you make this all happen? Because I know, although you do great work, you're only one person.
Right.
So how do you make all this happen?
So it's our community partners, right? At the end of the day, it is working very locally with people that are in the community. They know the community that they're serving. We're here working with our foundation to make investments in the community with the goal that we're helping these community partners be able to work smarter.
Well, in your title, as I mentioned at the head of the segment, is the phrase community engagement that you're head of. Mm-hmm. So let's circle back to that for a second. How do all your community engagement efforts and things you've just been talking about, how does that coalesce with and be consistent with your mission, with Blue Cross Blue Shield North Carolina's mission? Yeah,
so our mission is to improve the health and well-being of all of our customers and communities. And so I say it all the time, it's a part of our DNA. It's how we show up each and every day. Our neighbors in our state, we live, we work, and we play with them. And not a lot of people can say that, but we show up each and every day for them. And while we're working on our youth mental health challenges in our state, we understand that they're so pressing right now. When you think about the hurricane in Western North Carolina and what's happened, we've seen the rise of, just the youth mental health with the youth there as well. Yeah. And so really focusing on this, we're working around how do we work with school organizations to make sure that we're providing services in schools. We're doing on-demand services as well, and also just supporting our community partners that are doing this work.
I want to ask you a personal question, because you told me before we started that you and your family from Mebane, so you get to watch us on the weekends. Mm-hmm. Who or what led you to a career in healthcare? Was it mom, dad, aunt, uncle, teacher, friend?
Yeah, I'll say is my why when I think about it. It is, I understand that these nonprofits were there to support me and my family when we needed it growing up. And just understanding the value of what the food bank means to so many different families, right?
That's right.
Understanding what it means to go to a free clinic and be able to get services there, and how important these safety net organizations are for our community.
Well, then I'll flip it around on you. What's most gratifying to you about what you do with and for Blue Cross Blue Shield North Carolina in community engagement and beyond? What's gratifying to you?
I think it is the ability to meet with so many different people across our state and understand their needs, and then being able to go back and have conversations with our community partners and say, how can we support you to do the work? At the end of the day, our investments are there to support our partners. They are the ones on the ground each and every day doing the work, and Blue Cross shows up to be able to give them that little bit of financial investment. We bring our volunteers out, our employees are there as well to be able to help in the community they serve in as well.
Yeah, I just appreciate what you're doing. Up on screen, I want people to check this out. Go to bluecrossnc.com. Please do that. bluecrossnc.com is a website with lots of different portals to it that can get you all sorts of information. And Cheryl Parquet, our new friend, so
Yes.
glad you came, and I hope
Thank
you won't
you.
be a stranger and come back.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
I am so
Why
frustrated.
can no one help me?
Waiting
This
is
is a
the
nightmare.
worst. I think it's healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No. But it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
Back now on Triad Today. I'm so excited about having this special guest with us. First-time visitor to the show. Mary Davis is Director of Health Through Food, Blue Cross North Carolina Foundation, and we're so glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
By way of Chicago and now North Carolina, and we're so glad for all you're doing for the communities. Now, I just gave your title as Health Through Food, so tell me about that. What is Health Through Food all about?
Well, first of all, it's the best title, right?
Oh, well, sure.
Exactly. It's the best title. And what Health Through Food is, that is a new commitment that Blue Cross North Carolina has made to really leverage the power of food to prevent and manage and treat chronic illness. In North Carolina.
I'm going to interrupt you. Was that why it was needed? I mean, did you determine there's just such a need that we've
Absolutely.
got to do this thing?
Yep. Chronic illness linked to nutrition in our country is high and rising. And the same goes for North Carolina. And really, in fact, North Carolina feels that even more deeply, health outcomes in our state, we're in among all the states, we're the bottom half.
Well, now, people know that there's a lot of good work that Blue Cross Blue Shield does and the foundation. Mm-hmm. But they might wonder, well, wait a minute, Mary, why is the foundation spearheading this particular thing?
Yeah, I appreciate that question very much. And what's really exciting about this initiative, that it's not just the foundation. We are working across the enterprise to use all of the Blue Cross tools, deploying them to improve health through food in our state.
Now, is this going to do anything to actually improve health outcomes and reduce the cost? Because people, sometimes they struggle and try to go paycheck to paycheck. So is this going to reduce costs? Mm-hmm. What's going to be the impact of all
Yeah,
this?
spot on. That's exactly why we're doing this, to improve health outcomes for people and for families first and foremost, and to reduce healthcare spending, right? And increase the ability for our workforce to be stronger and really the prosperity of North Carolina overall. Yes.
Now, how long have you been we didn't rehearse this or anything, how long have you been with Blue Cross?
9 years.
9 years. And I'm just betting, I don't know for sure, but I'm just betting that this is not your first rodeo in doing things for people and having certain initiatives that help people, because Maya sent me an email that talked about something called Food is Medicine. What was that all about?
Yes, food is medicine. That's a key part of our health through food strategy. And what that is all about is kind of an intentional connection between food and healthcare. So it's about delivering food-based interventions to people who are struggling with diet-related chronic illnesses and really embedding that into the healthcare system. I think we all know that we can't just keep doing everything the same way and expecting different outcomes.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about on this show, and I know you do this all the time when you're out speaking to groups about access to health care. And of course, that's a whole different topic. But there are people that don't necessarily have access to the right kinds of foods, right?
Oh, absolutely.
What do you call them? Food deserts?
Food deserts, but that's true for so many people in North Carolina. We have a lot of very rural areas of this state where people, it's not easy for them to get to the grocery store, or maybe there isn't a grocery store. So that also is one of our key areas of focus, not just food as medicine, but increasing access to healthy food in communities in North Carolina.
Let me ask you a personal question, since this is the first time we met. What personal gratification do you derive from leading these kinds of efforts?
Thanks for asking. So, I think for me, it is personal because my mom struggled with diabetes her whole adult life. And I saw the impacts of that on her individually and then on us as a family. And then second of all, you said I was born in Chicago. I was born in Chicago, but I've been in North Carolina longer than I've been anywhere. And I really love this state. I love its people. I love its communities. And I've seen the power of food, right? It's helping people with their health. It's helping people with their physical health, their mental health. It's helping people feel less lonely and less isolated. And then it's supporting our local farmers, our local communities, and really the overall prosperity of our state. So I guess I've seen the ripple effects of food, so I'm just completely committed to doing this.
I'm so glad you are. I appreciate that. I want to put up on screen the general website on this. It's Blue Cross NC, of course, standing for North Carolina, the state that Mary loves. BlueCrossNC.com. I hope you will check that out. It has all sorts of portals to things that are going on and initiatives. And Mary, really, I appreciate it. I know this is your first time visiting here. I hope it won't be the last. And I thanks for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back.
At Sutton Brothers, we're confident we can help you solve your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
So confident that we'll fix it or it's free. Our highly trained technicians will diagnose your problem and fix it with either a repair or replacement.
And if we can't fix it, you won't pay the trip fee.
So the next time you have a problem, call us.
We'll make sure you're completely satisfied.
Guaranteed.
Call Sutton Brothers today and be confident things will be done right. Schedule online at suttonbros.com.
Now boarding zone 3.
Back now on Triad Today, and why don't we spend a few minutes talking about healthy eating and good food and nutrition, and who better to bring in here than a first-time visitor to the show. Caroline DeGrande is here with us. She's a farm-to-table coordinator for Growing High Point. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
First, let me ask you, because I was ignorant about this, Growing High Point, what is it? What's the mission?
Yeah, so we are a nonprofit in High Point, and our mission is to help uplift neighborhoods in High Point through community engagement, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. And this is all through the urban agriculture lens.
Right, I understand you even have some programs where you teach people to farm, especially maybe women who have sort of been in urban situations before, maybe haven't been exposed to that. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so our Farm Her program is what it's called, where it's designed for women who have an interest or a passion in agriculture and want to learn everything from seed to sale of what it's like to have an agribusiness. So we offer that opportunity for them to come and work with our farm staff, learn everything from crop planning to harvesting to marketing your product. And then through a grant through the High Point Community Foundation, we are able to financially support them through that as well. So paying them for their time while they learn with us, so they can support their families in the present, and then in the future they can take that knowledge and start an agribusiness if they like.
I just think that's great. I used to help my grandmother 100 years ago snapping beans, but she didn't pay me though. She didn't pay me that. Now, what is the mobile market? I read about.
So our mobile produce market is called Grodega. It is a big green bus that we drive around High Point, and it's got coolers, and we take our produce, whether it's aggregated through NC Farms or through our own pocket farms, and we sell it at 30% off the farmer's market price.
That's great.
Yeah.
I was also reading something that you had sent me about a food hub program. What is that?
Yeah, so our food hub is basically the entity that all of our produce flows in and out of, and all of our programs kind of intersect through it. So we spend most of our time packing boxes or bags to various programs. We've got our free farm share program. Every Tuesday, we pack 40 bags of produce to be delivered to low-income senior households.
Wow, that's just great. That's just great. Now, Blue Cross North Carolina offers a Medicare managed program called Healthy Blue. What I want to ask you about is you've got a partnership with Blue Cross, which is a great partnership. Why is that partnership and what you're doing together so important for the community?
Yeah, that partnership is wonderful. We started in 2025, partnering with them in programs like flu clinics, where they actually will sponsor vouchers for Grodega to come, and shoppers who get a flu shot, they can buy produce from us actually for free, and cater to them. So culturally relevant produce. We did a flu clinic with the New Arrivals Institute. So that was really great. And I think these programs are super important because there's a lot of research out there about how healthy eating influences chronic disease prevention.
Yeah.
So Growing High Point is super grateful to continue doing this work and showing up for the community in that way.
We didn't rehearse this or anything, but I'm curious about feedback. And you've been doing this for how many years?
So Growing High Point has been an entity since 2019.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But very quickly, I mean, do you get a sense of feedback and people that have been involved in this and taking advantage of the services you're doing? What do you think?
Yeah. People are always super grateful to be able to come and have that also agency of choice. So they shop with us. They're not always just receiving things. They get a choice of a spread and get to choose what they want for their families. So people really appreciate that.
How did you get an interest in all this?
Yeah, so I studied environmental science in school, and I'm really passionate about food systems and agriculture, and North Carolina has just a plethora of different growing options and 3 growing seasons, so it's super interesting work, and I feel privileged to be able to do it.
Well, I just appreciate what you're doing. Up on screen, growinghighpoint.org is something you can check out, and I hope you will. growinghighpoint.org. Now, the general website I'd like for you to visit is bluecrossnc.com. Of course, through Health Through Food is a big initiative for Blue Cross. It's been really making a difference in a lot of communities. So go to bluecrossnc.com. Caroline, thanks for all you're doing to help so many people.
Thank you for having me.
Right. We'll be right back after this.
I got free meals. What do you mean? No, seriously, how much did you pay us? I didn't pay anything. I learned how to cook all of these fresh foods that were delivered to my house. Everything in that grocery bag that's fresh, I had a recipe for it, and I know how to cook. It encouraged us to eat better, to shop better, make better decisions.
Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today also airs on GTN Spectrum Channel 13 and streams on WFMY Plus, free on Roku and Amazon Fire. Back now on Triad Today, I'm so excited about this special guest who has driven down from Raleigh to be with us today. And Laura Eberhardt is Senior Communications Advisor for Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. Thanks for being here.
Jim, thank you so much for having me, and happy National Nutrition Month.
Yeah, and I see how you got that in, and I didn't realize that until you and Benny sent me the email about that. Now, in what ways, seriously, in what ways Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina having a positive impact with members and communities when it comes to nutrition, since we've got this special month going on? Tell me about it.
This is a really important topic to Blue Cross NC because we know that diet-related chronic conditions, food insecurity can all lead to poorer health outcomes and then in turn rising healthcare costs. So we're leading a multi-year effort to help improve health through food.
Right.
So this isn't just for communities, this is individual nutritional support because we know it goes broader than just having access to food. People need to know what to do with it, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there a specific initiative or support system or program or anything you want to mention or plug that helps people individually and collectively?
Yes, okay, I love this because I just found out about it like a couple of years ago, and actually my family has used it, but many Blue Cross NC members get access to 30 free nutritional counseling visits per year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great because they can help you with the big things like managing a chronic disease, but then they can help you with the little things like just an individual nutritional plan for you because food's confusing. We hear all about protein these days and this and that.
Right.
What do you do with it? Everybody's different.
Do you offer any support for folks who are unfamiliar with what preparing healthy meals is all about? And I know that might sound like a weird question, but I guess there are people who just, I don't know how to fix this or fix that. What do you do?
No, it's not a weird question because once you have access to that healthy food, what do you do with it? What do you do with it in a way that tastes good to you? So we've been piloting testing kitchens across the state, and we're going to be doing more with
Testing
kitchens. So this is a personalized, culturally relevant way for you to go in, get that cooking class, and figure out how to make meals that taste good to you.
Where are all these kitchens eventually going to be located? Are people going to have pretty good access to them or what?
Yeah, so we have Beyond Blue neighborhood centers across the state, and currently we have them in Boone, Charlotte, Raleigh, Greenville, Fayetteville, so pretty wide breadth across the state.
Right. Now, what's Blue Cross NC doing to try to empower local communities to enhance access to nutritional foods? And because I know there are food deserts in areas.
Yes.
What are you doing in that regard?
So we've long supported community organizations across the state, and including here in Winston-Salem, we've supported the Hope organization. And I love this because this is an organization that helps get food to schools for children who might be food insecure. So a really important mission that they're doing there. And then also we support local farms that help get food to grocery stores, organizations, schools, for those who might be food insecure and need access to that healthy food.
What led you to a career like this, where you're involved with healthcare and nutrition? And I'm just curious.
It matters. It matters because we know food is medicine, right? And food and nutrition, this is just one piece of a really complex puzzle in helping make healthcare more accessible, more affordable for all North Carolinians. And really, when it comes down to it, everybody deserves their best shot, their best chance to live a healthy life.
It's a great preventative for that. And I
Absolutely.
can see in your eyes that you really like what you're doing. So I guess the final thing is, what personal gratification do you get from doing all this?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. I think knowing that you can make a difference for those who most need it is the personal gratification. It's taking resources that we have at Blue Cross NC and doing as much as we can across the state.
Absolutely. Up on screen, bluecrossnc.com. bluecrossnc.com, which has lots of portals you can visit to get all sorts of information about services and programs and initiatives, which I hope you will do. Laura Everhard, thanks again for making the drive down from Raleigh, and more importantly, for all you're doing to help people.
Thank you for having me, Jim.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
At Sutton Brothers, we're confident we can help you solve your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
So confident that we'll fix it or it's free. Our highly trained technicians will diagnose your problem and fix it with either a repair or replacement.
And if we can't fix it, you won't pay the trip fee.
So the next time you have a problem, call us.
We'll make sure you're completely satisfied.
Guaranteed.
Call Sutton Brothers today and be confident things will be done right. Schedule online at suttonbros.com.
I am so
Why
frustrated.
can no one help me?
Waiting is the worst. I think it's healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No. But it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. UNCG. Find your way here.
Back now on Triad Today. Always glad we can spend a few minutes with the good folks from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. And this first-time visitor to the show does a whole lot of work. He's always running around doing things, helping people. We're so glad he's with us now. Dylan White is Chief Compliance Officer for something called Healthy Blue Care Together at Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. Graduate of East Carolina and Appalachian State, and we're so glad you're here with us. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is, as you sent me, I think in an email, you or Benny sent me an email one day about this being National Foster Care Month.
It is.
Why is that important, and how is Blue Cross helping these kids?
Yeah, well, once again, thank you for having me on the show today. We're really thrilled to have the opportunity to talk about not only what's happening here in North Carolina, there's some exciting milestones that I'm going to be able to talk to you about, but it's also National Foster Care Month in May.
Right.
And so, at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, the, well-being and support of children, youth, and families served by the child welfare system has been paramount on our minds for many, many years. And given the opportunity we've had to collaborate with the North Carolina General Assembly, the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, and local communities here, we've really had an opportunity to help shape and inform what is now the Children Family Specialty Plan, which is an exciting new program that is delivered by Blue Cross North Carolina called Healthy Blue Care Together. And it is a really exciting program that really provides a lot of supports and services, and really a one-stop shop for those served and formerly served by the child welfare system.
Yeah, absolutely, Dylan. And you mentioned very briefly, let me circle back, you mentioned the State General Assembly. What did they do specifically to help in relation to this program you're working on?
Yeah, so for many years there has been talks and strategies that have been informed by local communities to develop a single statewide plan called the Children and Family Specialty Plan. And this plan is really meant to create a systematic shift from a regional approach to delivering child welfare to a statewide approach to this new service. And so that program is called the Children and Family Specialty Plan, and is something that the General Assembly, the Department of Health and Human Services really spent a lot of time strategizing on how we can, improve long-term goals for youth and well.
Absolutely. And under your banner, of course, specifically, you've got the Healthy Blue Care Together plan. Why is that different?
It is, I think first and foremost, we really think of this as a public health program. And so we recognize that there are long-term goals that Healthy Blue Care Together wants to be able to support to increase the system and capacity within North Carolina child welfare. But it's also bridging the gap between what local communities are doing today. And, one thing can't happen without the other. And so our goal is to try to make that bridge and really scale and amplify things that are happening on the ground.
Well, now, Blue Cross working with children, we just do great work on foster care, but as some things you've written to me about before, it's buoyed by the community and community involvement. So in that regard, my question is, how are Triad area partners really showing up to work with you and help for this initiative?
We have some really strong and wonderful partners here in the Triad. Crossnor comes to mind. Even the local community Department of Social Services, they are the ones who are on the front line, who are really, fielding the really difficult work. And so we have the ability and responsibility, frankly, to help provide them supports and ways to amplify, some of the stresses and burdens. And we are able to kind of take some of the lessons that they learn and see how it applies to other areas of the state, because I think that's one of the strong programmatic goals that the partners in the Triad are able to really test and have a really strong relationship in the community that we can help kind of place elsewhere too.
Quick personal question for you, very quickly. What gratification do you get from doing your job right now?
A lot. I am a public health person at heart, and so being able to, I think, see in real time how policies and community partners come together in real action, I think is the greatest part of this role and this work. And it's going to take a long time for true systematic change, but this is one step in that process that's really moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. Up on screen, bluecrossnc.com. That website again, bluecrossnc.com. Lots of portals to explore, find out what's available, different programs and services and plans that you can look into. And folks like Dylan, you're making quite a difference. Thanks for all you're doing.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back after this. Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Well, that's it for this special edition of Triad Today. Our thanks, of course, to our good friends at Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina for all they do for so many folks. We'll be back next week. I'll see you then.